93.3%. That is the total number of animals that Austin Animal Center was able to get out of their shelter alive in 2014. Hello, my name is Bryn and today I'm here to tell you about the Austin Animal Center and the great work that they're doing in the community of Austin for both the residents and the animals that they're rescuing. That I will remind you is not limited to just dogs and cats. I've actually been able to volunteer in the bunny section before, so just keep that in mind. Today we're going to cover a little bit about Austin Animal Center's goals and their mission. Also a little bit about them versus the Austin Humane Society and how that dynamic works, because Austin Humane Society is actually a partner of Austin Animal Center. And then I would like to share a couple of personal stories with you guys just to show you what it means to me to be a volunteer at the Austin Animal Center and why I think you would enjoy volunteering there as well. So I will ask you to hold your questions till the end, so let's get started. Just to give a brief overview of Austin Animal Center, I have their mission statement listed here from their website, and it was several paragraphs long. I have it paraphrased here on the paper, and I will also paraphrase it a little bit more. It's basically to provide the animals at their shelter with a home if they don't have a home. If they're found in the community and they're lost, it's to get them back to their owners, or if for some reason they don't have a forever home anymore, it's to get them in that forever home. And it's also about educating the public on proper pet ownership, because that's very, very important. A lot of these people go out and they think, oh, I want a really big, sweet dog. They're adorable. Sometimes the looks on their faces can just sell you in an instant, but people don't understand they're high energy. They need lots of attention and typically need a fenced-in backyard, which some apartment complexes do not provide. It just makes the dynamic very difficult, and that's why Austin Animal Center is an education program as well, and I think that's very important. Another important aspect of the Austin Animal Center is the fact that it benefits the city of Austin, and the fact that it's actually the city shelter. So a lot of people think, oh, Austin Pets Alive, Austin Humane Society. I never really hear a lot about the Austin Animal Center, and that surprises me, because when the city is called to go pick up animals, it actually gets taken to the Austin Animal Center. And although they do have partner organizations such as the Austin Pets Alive, Austin Humane Society, and another of my favorites is Hard Luck Hounds, the animals still come into the Austin Animal Center. They're evaluated by the vets, and then if they don't have space for them or they think they're a better fit for another shelter, that's when they get in contact with them and say, hey, we think we have an animal that you would be interested in, and then from there they'll transfer them out. So again, it's very important for the Austin community, because this is the first stop for these animals before they are taken somewhere that they can get their forever homes. So they also maintain a no-kill status, and what this means is that they have to be above a 90% live outcome rate every single year. So the percentage I gave you was from 2014, and it was total among dogs and cats. I know for a fact that that year it was 94.4% live outcome for dogs. There was 118 dogs taken into the shelter that year, so when you do the math on that, there were only 20 that remained in the shelter at the end of that year. That's an amazing number, and they need their volunteers to help them maintain that. So moving towards the Austin Animal Center and their volunteer requirements compared to the Austin Humane Society volunteer requirements, both require volunteer orientation and a 2-hour training session. But the fun thing that I know for a fact about Austin Animal Center, when you go for your training session, it's actually like your first step of volunteering. You walk in, you're there with a certified volunteer, and they're like, okay, here we go. We're gonna show you how to get the dogs out of the kennels. And again, I was personally a big dog volunteer, so sometimes they're very rambunctious. They want to get out and go as fast as they can, and again, that can be dangerous just depending on their size and their breed and how they react to other animals as well. So it was very good to actually attend this, but also be able to do the hands-on stuff. I know that a lot of times you're reading pamphlets or you're reading PowerPoints that they're like, okay, here's the dynamic of this is what you need to do, but it's different in practice than it is reading it on a piece of paper. So I really enjoyed that aspect. Also, after you do the orientation session and you attend your 2-hour training with Austin Animal Center, you commit to volunteer 6 hours a month. This can be you go in on a Saturday that if you've had a bad week, you might spend 6 hours there and you're done for the month. It's just up to you. There's really no set schedule, and all they ask is that you make an account on givepulse.com, and what that does, and it's also listed under the volunteer requirements to do that, as you can see on your paper, All that does is it tracks your time that you spend there, and when you go in to volunteer, you log in. When you're leaving, you log out. It logs your hours for the whole time that you've been there, so you don't really have to worry about it. It's another great dynamic to this program. So, again, you show up, you walk dogs. I'm not a cat person because I'm allergic, but I know a lot of people that really enjoy going into their cat house, and they just get to interact with the kittens or the cats, and it just depends on what you want to do, and you get to choose, which makes it even better. I love the Austin Animal Center and the volunteer environment that they create. So on to the Austin Humane Society volunteer requirements. Again, the similarities were that you have to attend the volunteer orientation and a 2-hour training session. I couldn't find the exact details on what the training session entailed, but it sounded like it would be a similar hands-on experience, but maybe more you just watching another volunteer do some of the stuff versus you actually getting to interact with the animals. But the only big difference that I saw was that you have to commit to volunteering for at least 3 months when you sign up for 2 hours per week, which ends up totaling 8 hours a month, or 24 hours total over these 3 months. And it's a very rigid schedule, which doesn't always work with what we're doing. Sometimes it's just like, man, I've had a bad day. I really, really need to go out and just play with these dogs, or, you know, I think this is going to be a great time for me to go out there just personally and because I know I'm helping the animals as well. So that's why I love it. One of my personal stories is that I was having a bad day. I went and volunteered. I took out one of the big dogs into a pen and played with him for about 20 minutes, and then I went and sat on one of the benches with him, and he came and put his head on my shoulder, and it just made my day. It made it so much better, and I loved it. So my vision for the future is to help the Austin Animal Center get their percentage to over 95% for the total live outcome. This would be an amazing thing for these people, and a lot of them will say, I hope I don't have a job one day so that we can get these animals out here. So I would like to thank you and please ask you to consider volunteering at the Austin Animal Center. It's a great experience, and I know you'll all love it.